What's going on, everybody? Jay here from Square Pegs. If you are a new viewer, thanks for clicking on the thumbnail. If you're a returning viewer, I know why you're here, because it is that time of the month where we talk about the Nintendo Switch eShop. And something cool has happened for this video. For the first time ever in the history of my channel, I have been provided a review code for every single game on this list. Now, that isn't to say that they have asked me to say anything specific about these games. It was just a request I put in and they provided, which means we're getting bigger. We're actually getting close to 9,000 subscribers. Would love to get there by the end of the year. So if you are new here and you haven't done so, click that subscribe button. I'd love to have you stick around. But let's kick things off right now with one of my favorite series and a game from NIS America, Disgaea 7.
I have long been a fan of the Disgaea series, and when I was offered the code for Disgaea 7 Vows of the Virtualist from NIS America, I leapt at it because this is legitimately one of my favorite tactical RPG series. So the things to love about it right off the bat, it does not take itself too seriously. They are very comedic, very funny games, but that sense of humor hides an incredibly deep and detailed and strategic game that you need to experience to be able to enjoy it. I played every single game in this series so far, and I love it. You get to play in this game as Fuji, who is a demon, and Perilika, who is a fashion designer, and she has a lot of money, and Fuji wants her money. And you have to recruit characters, and you get a ton of different classes, and each character does something a little bit differently and a little bit better than the other one. I've got to be honest with you, when I first learned that Disgaea was going away from the traditional pixel art style that they had, I was apprehensive, but Disgaea 6 looks great, and somehow Disgaea 7 looks even better. This game is magnificent. There are 3 different versions that you can get. There is the standard digital edition, which is $59.99, but it's currently on sale for $49.99 through the 4th of December. There's also a digital deluxe edition and the digital complete edition. The deluxe edition will run you $79.99, and the complete edition will be $109.99. But I'm here to tell you, any way you play this game, you're going to have a great time with it. This is one of my favorites. I'm so stoked to be able to work regularly with NIS America because I'm such a huge fan of their games, and to be able to suggest them to people and be able to play them is just such a huge honor. So if you do like tactical strategy games and you have never played a Disgaea game, definitely check this one out, especially with a sale running through the start of December. Anytime you get the opportunity to play a new game from Yu Suzuki, you take it. You don't know who Yu Suzuki is. This is the absolute brilliant mind behind things like Sword of Vermilion, like Outrun, like Space Harrier, and of course, most importantly, Shenmue. He's an absolute genius, and the newest game that he has released is called Air Twister. Now, if you're familiar at all with Space Harrier, this is going to be very familiar to you. You're going to look at it and go, yes, I need to play that. And I'm here to tell you, yes, you do, because this is a brilliant on-rail shooter that is just a love letter to classic Sega arcade experiences. The music is spectacular, the gameplay is wonderful, there's a ton of amazing power-ups in the game, and most importantly, it's just really fun. It's super polished, it's super well designed, and for something that was originally a mobile release, this game plays flawlessly on the Switch. Like, it is perfect for that Tegra 1 chip on the Switch processor. Air Twister is $24.99, it's a brilliant game, definitely worth checking out. I really like games that disguise things heavily in their gameplay, and at first glance, Sailforth is kind of a comedic pirate game where you play as a little kid and you're sailing around and you're just looking for different things to solve, different mysteries to find, different things to do in this world. But inside of this already fun game that's already there with all of those little things that I just mentioned is legitimately one of the deepest sailing mechanics I've ever played in a video game. You have to make sure that you're sailing with the wind with a deep physics engine that actually impacts the way you play the game and impacts the way that you're going to survive as you play. There's weather options, there's different pirates on the seas that you're going to have to fight, there's plenty of characters for you to meet, all with their own unique and ridiculous personalities, and it's really just a super fun time. Sailforth is $19.99. It's on sale through the 23rd of November, so you still got a day to get this one at the sale price of $13.89, but it's a ton of fun. Check this out. If you're into sailing games, Sailforth is something you need to look at. Let's step back in time to 1997 when men were macho and movies were violent. And let's play Prison City because, this game is chef's kiss perfect. This takes place in the prison city of Detroit, so home sweet home for me. I love this. It is, I think Riggs put it best when he said this is if Shatterhand and Power Blade had a baby, because 100% accurate. This is such a fun action platformer where you're going to be going through and there's challenging fights and fun enemies and great design and a beautiful, amazing soundtrack that is just awesome. Ton of references to classic action movies and video games. A huge array of levels that you're going to have to fight through, including Ford Field here at the stadium, which I kind of love that you get to go to Ford Field where the Detroit Lions play. And there's also hockey guys there shooting pucks at you. I don't know. Look, Prison City is absolutely brilliant. It's normally $16.99, so it's a steal of a price anyway, but it's on sale through the 4th of December for $15.29, and you need to pick this one up. It's amazing. I have to admit, I was completely skeptical about how Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 was going to play. I had never played any of the other All-Star Brawl games before. I've been told they're really good, but I've been told other games are really good too. And as someone who isn't a massive fan of characters like SpongeBob, didn't expect a whole lot going into this game, but holy crap is this game fun. It is such a well-designed brawler. Like, this is a perfect alternative to something like Super Smash Bros. You have amazing characters to play as. You have the Ninja Turtles, there's Garfield, Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life, Aang from Last Airbender, Korra from Legend of Korra, Patrick, SpongeBob, one of the wild Thornberries, I think his name's Nigel. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about the Thornberries. Ren and Stimpy. It's an all-star cast. It's right there in the title. And it's really fun. Like, the combat is really well done. I mean, it's 100% a level under Smash Brothers, but what's the problem with that? It's just more Smash, and that's okay. The single-player modes are really great. The multiplayer is great. The campaign mode is fantastic, where you go through and you're going to unlock different characters. It's a lot like the campaign mode in Smash Brothers. I keep making references to Smash, and that's a disservice to what this game does, because it's such a fun title. It does have some killer load times, I will tell you that, but if you can deal with that, you're going to have an absolutely spectacular time playing this game. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 is $49.99 for the digital release. The Deluxe Edition is $69.99, and the Ultimate Edition is $79.99. Each of those comes with different bouts of DLC, different add-ons that you can get. I think you can all purchase those separately as well. This game's a lot of fun. If you're looking for a new fighter on the Nintendo Switch, definitely check out All-Star Brawl 2. Who here hasn't wanted to play a video game starring Ebenezer Scrooge? I'm willing to bet none of you raised your hand, but I'm here to tell you that Ebenezer and the Invisible World is amazing. This is a Metroidvania with hand-drawn animations, and it looks fantastic. It sounds incredible, and the gameplay is wonderful. How are you going to make a Metroidvania out of Ebenezer Scrooge of all characters? Well, this takes place after A Christmas Carol, so Ebenezer has already reformed. He is interested in the welfare of others, and he is visited by a ghost, and he is asked to stop an evil, wealthy industrialist from taking over London. As you go through London, you're going to meet other ghosts that will give you different abilities. You're going to use those abilities to go through the different levels where you are gated off based on your abilities that you have, like a classic Metroidvania. And honestly, it's just really fun. It's such a clever way to make a game that we've all seen a million times before with Metroidvanias, but I've never seen anything that pays homage to such classic literature like this. Ebenezer and the Invisible World is $19.99, and this is a perfect game to play as you head into the Christmas season. Man, there's just something to be said for classic boomer shooter fun, and Rise of the Triad Ludicrous Edition is wonderful. If you haven't played the original Rise of the Triad back in the 90s, back when I was in high school, I'm so old. It's a fantastic boomer shooter FPS where you're basically going through levels, collecting keys, and making your way through. Very classic Wolfenstein, classic Doom design. This is the updated version for the Nintendo Switch. It's the original edition of the game. It's just updated for modern consoles, and it plays so well on the Switch and runs so ridiculously smoothly. And there's so much gore when you kill people. There's just gibs everywhere. It's amazing. There's so many awesome weapons, such a great time to play, and a really, really fantastic soundtrack. If you haven't played this one, it's worth checking out so you can at least know the history of where classic boomer shooters and classic first-person shooters came from. Rise of the Triad Ludicrous Edition is $19.99, worth every penny to play it. You get all 4 campaigns. Every little bit of gameplay ever released for Rise of the Triad is in this release. It's wonderful. One of the things I've been personally proud of over the last almost 2 years now is that I have been learning French through Duolingo and Babbel. And as good as that is, and as great as those services are, it does tend to get a little bit repetitive and a little bit monotonous at times, where I just feel like I'm kind of going through the motions. And that's where Terra Alia comes into play. Terra Alia is an RPG that is designed around language learning. You're able to learn Brazilian Portuguese, French, Italian, Simplified Chinese, Russian, Japanese, Korean, English, Spanish, or German. And you use these languages and the things you learn as you're going through the world, as you can examine different objects to learn what the language you've chosen's word is for that particular object. And you use those in dialogue trees and challenges and things like that as you play through. And you're going to unlock different spells and things like that, and you are only able to use the spells as you learn more vocabulary, so you build up your magic more. I'm really enjoying it. It's not the deepest RPG in the world, I won't lie to you. It's not, this isn't Final Fantasy VI or, Persona 5 or anything like that, but what it does as far as language learning goes is it gamifies the experience and makes you want to keep learning. And as a supplement to my regular education with Duolingo and Babbel, I'm really appreciating it. Terra Alia, the Language Discovery RPG, is a $14.99 game, and
well done.
I'm seriously so impressed with their ability to take traditional video game tropes and video game mechanics and turn it into a language learning experience. It's kind of brilliant.
New York survived multiple giant monster attacks and a Broadway play about movies.
I have been chasing the NFL Street experience since I worked on the game back in the early 2000s. And there have been games that have come close. The NFL Street sequels are all fine. NFL Arcade was a game I worked on that I enjoyed. Some of the Blitz games that have come out since then have been good. But none of them have come as close as Wild Card Football. Now, this does not have the NFL license, but who really cares? Because it's got the NFLPA license, and you get to play as all your favorite NFL players. And you get all the different crazy power-ups that you would get in the NFL Street games, but they're better in this one. The gameplay is better in this one. All the trash talking is there. All the crazy over-the-top tackles are there. Every single NFL player is there. And there's just an incredible array of things that you're able to do. You can completely customize your team. From the roster down to the logo, the uniform, the colors, your stadium, everything can be customized. Everything is over-the-top, ridiculous, wonderful, and honestly just such a blast to play. When I booted this one up, I knew they had something special because NFL games and football games in general don't really hold my attention for a long time. But this one held my attention for a few hours. I've played it regularly since I initially got it, and it is an absolutely incredible title that if you are a fan of classic football action or over-the-top arcade action like the Blitz games or the NFL Street games, Wild Card Football needs to be on your list. Normally a $39.99 title, it is on sale through December 4th for $19.99. You can also get the Deluxe Edition, normally $59.99, on sale for $32.99, or the Ultimate Edition, which is normally $69.99, on sale for $34.99. You're not going to go wrong with any of them. They're all fantastic. Wild Card Football is a sports game that you need on the Nintendo Switch. I really enjoy games that kind of take genres and turn them on their head and really kind of play into my weird sense of needing to organize my backpack in video games, which is where Backpack Hero comes in. And I was so excited about this game when I first saw it. So first off, it's a roguelike. You know I'm down for it. It's got RPG elements. You know I'm down for it. It's got an inventory management system where it's not just, oh, I need to make sure I have 99 of everything going at all times because otherwise I might run out of potions. No, it's about expanding your backpack and organizing the items in it to make sure they all fit and making sure they line up to trigger the bonuses that other items are going to offer that you put in your backpack. Like, if you put one thing next to another thing, it might make the sword hit harder, but if you put a hat above that, it might get you extra block when you go into battle. There's so much. It's so good. I love it. This is legitimately one of my favorite games I've played all year. This is in the running for the top 10 games of the year. It's an absolutely brilliant title. Backpack Hero is a great game. If you like alternative takes on classic genres, worth checking out. This is a $19.99 game, and I have loved every second I've played of it.
There you have it, my friends. Everything from a tactical strategy game to a platformer starring Ebenezer Scrooge to a game that helps you learn a foreign language. There's all kinds of stuff offered this month. Thank you again to all the publishers for providing review codes this month. I truly appreciate it. I'll be back next month if you enjoyed this video because there's always new eShop games coming out and I like doing these videos every month. But if you're new around here, please, like I said, click that subscribe button. I do a couple videos a week and I do a short every day where I talk about the best in retro and modern gaming. I would love to have you stick around. And like I said, we are on that road to 9,000 subscribers and I would be eternally grateful if I can get there by the end of the year. Till next time, folks, I've been Jay. I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Get over to the eShop, play some games, and stay square.